Alright, what's up guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, my name is Journey Simone and I am back with another videos for you guys. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe before we even start this story time. Like, comment, and subscribe down below. But today I got a good little story time for y'all. We gotta get into this, y'all, because I got fired from my job, which I'm not surprised, but this ain't the first one I done got fired from, so I'm not surprised. I've only been fired from two. But yes, I just gotta tell y'all what happened with this job. So about 3 weeks ago, I was involved in a fight with this girl, with one of my coworkers, y'all. But she hit me first or whatever. So yeah, that's a whole nother story for a different time. But so I was involved in the fight or whatever, which I did not get fired for that because of the fact that I was kind of the victim because she did me first. So that was like, yeah. But so last week, because I had just got fired on New Year's, y'all, so like a couple days ago. So last week I was at work and this was Wednesday. I was at work, and while I was at work, y'all, I had okay, they had me on headset. If you have ever worked fast food, and I worked at Wendy's, y'all. I worked at Wendy's. If you have ever worked fast food, you know how the whole headset thing work. So when you do headset, you have to make drinks at the same time. So I was on headset and I was making drinks at the same time, but it was shift change, and I went in like at 4. I went in at 4 o'clock. But the girl that was on headset before me, she did not restock my station. Like, she did not restock my ice, she did not restock the cups, and she did not restock the lids. So of course I had to do all that by myself. Literally had to do all that by myself. So I went and started restocking. I restocked the cups first, restocked the lids, and then I had to go get some ice. So we have like this metal bucket. It's a metal bucket, y'all. And then we have this metal scooper. So you have to get the metal bucket first and then lift the thing up and then scoop it into the bucket. So so it's heavy, of course. Like, it's gonna be heavy. It's full of ice and it's a metal bucket, like, so it's heavy. So while I am scooping the ice machine is right beside the sandwich station. It's 2 sandwich stations, but it was beside the front sandwich station. And it was already 2 people on sandwiches because one person was getting trained and then the other person was training them. It was already 2 people right there. And we're like back to back. Like I'm face this way getting the ice, and then they're face that way making the sandwiches. So we're already back to back. So the manager, I'm not going to use no name in these, but if I do have to like give a name, like, I'm just going to use fake names. But the manager, we're going to call her Ashley. So Ashley walked over and started talking to me. And while Ashley was talking to me, as I was getting the ice, a grown woman, this grown lady, y'all, we're going to call her Lisa. So Lisa decides to try to squeeze in between while 4 people was in this little space. It's already tight right there. She tried to squeeze in between, and like, I was holding the ice bucket in one hand and putting the ice in the other hand, and while she's like, y'all, she didn't even say excuse me, she pushed in between us. And then I almost dropped the ice. So I like, before I almost dropped the ice, I caught the bucket of ice because it was about to drop on the floor. So I caught the bucket of ice, and then I turned back to see who it was. So I didn't even know who it was. But I wasn't finna say nothing like, maybe it was an accident, maybe she trying to get through here, like, you know what I'm saying? But it is another way to go that way. So I don't know if she just was trying to, you know what I'm saying? Excuse my hair, by the way. It is not curled and I'm about to go to bed. But I don't know if she was trying to, I don't know what she was trying to do, but she had like almost made me drop the bucket of ice. So I turned back to see who it was, and when I seen who it was, I just like, okay, like, whatever, like. But y'all, she turned back and she was like, bitch, I smacked the F out of you. I'm not gonna try to cuss a lot on here, but she's like, I smacked the F out of you. Y'all, if y'all would have seen my face to this grown old ass woman, that could be my granny. Y'all, I had looked at her like, okay, don't even worry, because I already knew. I'm not finna argue with you. I'm about to call my mama. And the manager, Ashley, had watched the whole thing. Like, I didn't say nothing to her. She had watched the whole thing. Because I never felt like it was that deep. I was just gonna let her go. Maybe she didn't mean to like push me. You know, accidents happen. So I called So after I had got the ice and I put the ice in the thing, y'all, I was just so mad. Like, that had made me so mad because I am the type of person, I'm a person that goes, respect go both ways. And if somebody disrespect me, I am going to disrespect them back. Period. That's just how I am, because it does go both ways. Like, it don't matter who you is. So I had after that, she had went on or whatever, and I had put the ice in the thing where my station was, over there by the window, by the drive-through window. And when I had put the ice in there, I had called my mama. I called mama right there too. Like, I didn't walk up, I didn't go to the bathroom. I called mama right there, and I told her, and I said, Mama, you need to come up here, because this lady just, like, she tripping. Like, she really is tripping. Because I didn't say nothing to her. So I called mama, and mama had first mama had called the store. She had called the store. So she called the store, and she had spoke to Ashley, the woman that had seen the whole situation go down. She had spoke to her. Oh my God. Yeah, she had spoke to her first, and she let her know, like, if somebody else put their hands on her, like, it's gonna be a problem. Like, so after she had spoke to Ashley, after mom had spoke to Ashley, mama had called me back. She let me know that she had spoke to her, and then mama said she was on the way. So after that, I was upset, y'all. Like, I had gave somebody the headset. I had to go to the bathroom and calm myself down, because I just was like, what? Like, I was upset because, like, I ain't even say nothing to you. And then I could have threw that whole bucket of ice on her, but I didn't. I really could have threw that whole bucket of ice, because that was really what's going through my mind. Throw this metal bucket on her. And y'all, not to mention, well, I left a part out. Not to mention, after she had called me a bitch or whatever and said what she said, I did say something back, but I really don't remember what I said something back. But I know I did call her a bitch back, because you called me a bitch first. So and then you're grown at that, talking to a child. So I had called her a bitch back, and her son had came around the corner and was like, who are you talking to? Bitch, your old ass mama. That's who I'm talking to, because she's not even your mama for real. They're not that's not his biological mother. They're two different races at that. So I was like, your mom? Like, what do you mean? What did you gonna do? What did you gonna do? Because then I'm gonna call my dad up here for you. So that was a whole nother thing. He was a whole nother problem. So then the manager had witnessed the whole thing, so, like, she couldn't lie, because Lisa was cool with a different manager, not Ashley. She was cool with a manager named, we're gonna call him Jacob. She was cool. Lisa was best friends with Jacob, which is another manager. And when this had happened, Jacob had came out the office. He didn't know what was going on. He didn't even know what was said. He just heard us, like, getting loud a little bit. He came out the office and was like, y'all need to stop, da 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 da. Like, no, she needs to stop. So then after that, it just made me mad even talking about this. So then after that, after I had called my mom and said she was on the way or whatever, I had went to the bathroom. I was calming myself down. I had came back out, and I walked to the office. Like, we got like an office where the managers and stuff be at, where they do all their manager business. So I had walked to the office, and Ashley and Jacob was in the office, and I knocked on the door because the door was closed. I knocked on the door, and, like, he, like, cracked the door. Like, y'all, like, Jacob had, like, cracked the door and was like, what? And I was like, can I go home? Because I'm not finna do this. And he was like, you're not finna do what? And I said, just, can I go home? And he was like, bye. Like, very unprofessional. Don't recommend. Like, he very unprofessional. So, so then after, so mama came inside. When mama came inside, I pointed at Lisa. Because mom was like, who did it? So I pointed at Lisa. Y'all, when Lisa seen me pointing at her to my mom, because this was the first time mama had ever even came to my job. Nobody up there has ever seen mom, because it's never no reason for her to come up there unless it's something serious. She doesn't eat Wendy's. We don't really eat Wendy's like that. So it's like, what does she need to come up there for? Like, she just dropped me off, picked me up, and that's the end of the story. So she had yeah, I pointed her out to Lisa, and I pointed Lisa out to mama, and mama started walking like kind of that way. She started walking kind of that way, and Mama has seen Ashley, and Mama and Ashley was exchanging words, and I noticed that Lisa walked to the back and walked to the office. Because if you don't work there, you know you can't go behind the counter. So Lisa had walked to the back and walked to the office. So I'm like, okay, she like, nah, don't think that you could talk to somebody's child that way, because you wouldn't want somebody talking to your child like that. And that's the thing. Now when a grown woman come up here and try to talk to you or about to say something to you, then you want to walk off. No, don't walk off. Say exactly what you said to me, to my mama, and see how that go. So after that, I was like, okay. She walks back there. So Ashley, the manager, had said that she wanted to talk to my mama outside. This was their first time meeting. So she was like, okay, I just want to talk to you outside. So me, mama, and Ashley, the manager, went outside. When we were all talking outside, Ashley explained to mama that I did not say nothing to her. Like, she said that out of nowhere because she bumped me. And then she went and told her friend Jacob that I bumped her. How am I bumping you? And I didn't even know you was right there. I'm minding my business getting some ice. How did I bump you? So Ashley had told us that they had called their big boss, like the big boss, the general manager, and asked her, like, what do they do about this situation? The big boss had told Jacob to write Lisa up. Jacob did not want to write Lisa up because, like I told y'all, they were best friends. So keep in mind that Lisa and Jacob are best friends, and Jacob is a manager and Lisa's not. So Jacob did not want to write Lisa up. So I'm like, of course, like, you're picking sides. That's favoritism, because you know that she was in the wrong, and he didn't even see the whole situation. But if Ashley, the other manager, is telling you that she was in the wrong and what she did was wrong, why do you feel like that you get to pick sides and show favoritism? That's not what a manager does. They definitely don't know how to do their job. Like, well, Ashley does. I mess with Ashley. Ashley, we was talking all the time, and she always defended me. Like, and she's gonna say if I'm wrong, she's gonna tell me that I'm wrong. But if somebody else is wrong, she gonna tell them that they wrong. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't no picking sides. She was very neutral, and Jacob was not being neutral. So I was like, okay, cool. So mom had asked Ashley for the corporate number, like the big boss, like the lady that run all the Wendy's in this area. She had asked for her number. So we got her number. So we ended up leaving. Lisa was in the back. She stayed in the back until we were gone, I guess. We ended up leaving and going home. When we got home, we called the big boss. So mom ended up calling the big boss, y'all. She called the big boss. She explained to her,
okay, the big boss that I'm talking about now is not the same big boss that I was talking about just a couple minutes ago. This is the bigger boss. She runs all the
coming
Wendy's.
up there,
So
hanging out
this
when they're
is
not
a bigger boss.
scheduled. She explained to her that this one girl had hit me, like, up there at the job. We had got to fighting. She also explained to her that this grown woman had threatened me. Like, she explained to her that they need to get it together, basically, because they really do. So I was like, so I was just listening to what mom was telling her, and the big boss was basically like apologizing, etc. Like, she was very understanding. Especially, like, if you're a mother and a grown woman talks to your child that way, like, I know y'all will react the same way. Like, y'all want to talk to the big boss because, like, what's going on? Like, that's unacceptable. So after she had talked to the big boss, y'all, I had worked the next day. After this situation, I had worked the next day. So the girl, Lisa, the one that had cussed me out or whatever, I had worked with her the next day. So I was expecting her to be at work when I had got there, because she did get to work before me. I was expecting her to be at work when I got there. But when I got there, she was not at work. So while I was there, she was like, I'm kind of stopped up, so my voice kind of sounded a little funny. But while I was there, she wasn't there. So I'm like, okay, cool. So somebody came and told me that they had fired her for saying what she said, which I feel like, y'all, when I said Lisa and Jacob are besties or whatever, supposed to be besties, so Jacob was really upset about that, and he was the manager on shift that night. Jacob was really upset about her being fired, so of course he was going to try to be targeting me this shift. So I already knew he was gonna be coming for me this shift. He had put me on headset. He know I does not like being on headset, but at the end of the day, I'm still getting paid to be on headset, so I didn't even have a problem with it. I went on headset. I didn't complain about my spot. I was like, okay, I'm on headset. Like, it is what it is. So he was the only manager on shift that night. So yeah, the whole night he just was picking with me, bugging with me. Like, y'all literally had to sit down for 2 seconds, and he was like, you need to get up and be doing something productive. But you sit in the office and play Nintendo Switches on the shift when you ain't even scheduled. And you sit in the office and FaceTime all your friends all day when you know we up here needing help and you don't do nothing. So I was like, what? Like, but I didn't say nothing back, y'all, because he is my manager. So I just like, okay, like, I don't have a problem with getting up. Like, cool. I got up or whatever. And but we were really slow this night, y'all. That's why I had sat down. We were really slow. Nobody was at the window. Like, it was no orders for me to take. So I did sit down for a second, which I'm allowed to sit down. I can sit down for a second. Like, so I sat down for a second. And as soon as he told me to get up, I did. Like, I didn't really have no problem with getting up. Like, that was not an issue to me. So I got up, and after I had got up, I had went back over there to the window, and a car popped up. So I answered the car, whatever. That was cool. So he just was picking with me the whole night. I remember I went to the bathroom one time. Like, y'all, I went to the bathroom one time that whole shift. I really I drink a lot of water, but I really don't have to use the bathroom a lot. Like, even when I'm at school, I probably use the bathroom one time throughout the whole 8 hours that I'm at school. So I usually have to use the bathroom like 1 or 2 times. So I had went to the bathroom one time, and when I came back, he just like, where were you? And da 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 da. And I'm like, the bathroom. I had took the headset off. I had left the headset right there. I had let everybody know I was going to the bathroom. If a car had came, they could have picked up the headset and answered it. They did not have to wait on me to come back. I let everybody know that, but he did not know that because he was sitting in the back of the office, so he didn't hear me tell them I was going to the bathroom. So I had I had went to the bathroom, and when I had came back, he just like, you should let somebody know you was going to the bathroom. I said I did. You just wasn't up here to hear it. And not to mention, before I had went to the bathroom, the whole point of me going to the bathroom was to call my mom. I called the general manager, and I called my mom. I went to the bathroom because before I had went to the bathroom, he had called me in the office with a piece of paper telling me I need to sign it. Y'all, didn't tell me what it was, didn't tell me why I need to sign it until I said, what am I signing? Because I could be signing my life away. What am I signing? So I was like, what am I signing? He was like, oh, it's a discipline form or a write-up. It was write-up. He was like, it's a discipline form. I'm like, for what? So I grabbed the paper and I sat down and I proceeded to read the paper. He said that I had an attitude with him the whole night, and I had screamed asking for a finger because, let me explain this to y'all. When someone orders something and they don't want it anymore and we have to take it off, we cannot just take it off. We have to get, like, we have these computers that we take the orders on. We have to get the manager's fingerprints in order to take it off. We cannot take it off ourselves because we are just crew members. So I did a couple times when I need somebody to take some off. I was like, hey, can I get a finger? Like, can you? And I was loud with it because you're all the way in the back of the office. I'm not finna come back there every time I need a finger. You should be up here working with us anyway. So I'm not finna walk back there every single time I need a finger. So he said that I had yelled for a finger and did, because you're sitting in the office all day. I wouldn't have to yell if you were already up here. He said that that I had an attitude with him the whole day. Remind y'all, he has never wrote me up. He said this was a constant issue. My thing is, if this was a constant issue, why you ain't been wrote me up? You could have been wrote me up when it was an issue the first time, but you wait until your friend get fired the same day to write me up. Real suspicious to me. So he said it was a constant issue. I'm like, you could have been wrote me up if it was a constant issue. I was just reading all the BS on that baby, y'all, to be honest. I'm just like, okay, like, what? So he said I had an attitude. I did not have attitude. I very much did not say anything to him. It was nothing to say. If we're not talking about work, what is there to say? I don't have nothing to say to you, honestly. If he didn't speak to me first, I was not going to speak to him back. So he he was like, I had an attitude and all this other stuff. Y'all wrote a whole paragraph on me. Like, I guess I'm that interesting. A whole paragraph on me. I probably would too. General manager didn't answer. So I was like, okay, cool, I'm finna call mama because... So, wait, I'll keep skipping the parts. So before that, okay, really after he had woke me up, I had went back up there on the headset, and of course I was mad. I was talking to my friends, but his minions were overhearing, and they were running back there telling him. I could have told him to his face, you don't have to tell him nothing. If he was up there, he would have heard me, and he should have heard me because I was loud. So I was talking to two of my friends, and I was telling them, and I said what I said was, for somebody to be so grown still living with their mama, thinking they can tell me what I have to do. Like, indeed, I very much did say that. I did say he lived with his mama. I did say he swear he's so grown still living with his mama. Cause you do. How are you so grown still living with your mama? You're not grown till you move out, till you're paying your own bills. That's grown. And your maturity makes you grown too. Also, like that's grown too. The way you carry yourself. Also, not just, you know what I'm saying. So, I guess they heard me say that. And his little minions ran back there, telling him, which didn't care. Could have told him to his face. Like I said, respect go both ways. He had been disrespecting me, talking about me, and I had been letting it slide before I even called my parents up there. I had been letting it slide. That's the thing. I spared you. I spared you because I already know how my parents react, and I already know how they defend their daughter. You know what I'm saying? So I had been sparing you. You know what I'm saying? So after they went back there and told him that, y'all, he came up there. He was like, get out my store. Get out my store. You don't get to talk about my personal life. He was like, you don't get to talk about my personal life. So butthurt. But you think you could talk about me. And then he was like, I know everything about your personal life. No, you only know what I tell you. You don't know shit about me. That be people's problem. You only know what I tell you, what I allow you to know. That's your problem now. You don't know shit. What you know? What's on the computer? What school I go to? My name? My birthday? What else? My social? What you gonna do? Sign me up for the military? So yeah, he was saying he know everything about me. Tell me my parents' name. You can't even tell me my motherfucking parents' name. So what do you know? Honestly. So I was like, okay, whatever. He had snatched the headset from me and clocked me out, y'all. Clocked me out. It was like 30 minutes left on my shift anyway. So he had clocked me out. And I'm like, okay, this is where I'm about to have to call my people because, yeah, you're tripping. And then, y'all, he was doing all this yelling for me to get out his store in front of a customer. I literally told him, I looked at him, and I said, it's a customer standing right there while you're doing all this. Very unprofessional. You're supposed to be a manager. A manager. Please. Every time he closed, I ain't even finna, but please. So, and remind y'all, all the managers are like 18, 19, 20. So these are kids to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, but like I said, it depends on your maturity, like how you act for me to be able to. Ashley, I don't count her as a kid. I listen to her. She doesn't. And the thing about it is, y'all, I don't take people yelling at me well. Like, I don't even like mom yelling at me. Like, you have to talk to me like how I'm talking right now. Like, that will make me listen to you. If you're constantly yelling at me all the time, I'm not listening to you. I'm not listening to you because you're being disrespectful. So now I'm going to be disrespectful to you. So I don't like people yelling at me. Ashley had never yelled at me, none of that. I always listened to her. She was my manager. She told me to do something, I was going to do it. Because she wasn't telling me like in a, you know what I'm saying, a rude way. So he was, because he already had his little animosity towards me. And after that had happened, after he snatched the headset from me and was telling me get out his store, not even your store, like, nigga boo, not even your store. So I was like, I told him I wasn't going nowhere. That's what I told him, straight up, I'm not going nowhere. So my shift is over, baby. So call my mom, call my stepdad. They hopped out the bed in their pajamas. I think they threw on something, but they hopped out the bed or whatever. And they come, we only live 10 minutes from the place, y'all. So they was there pretty quick. When they got there and I opened the door for them, I had already knew how I was about to go. I opened the door, whatever. And so this is the tea part, y'all. This is the tea part. This is what I think got me fired right here. So I opened the door and I went to the back to get the manager because he was sitting in the office once again. I went in the back to get the manager and I was like, my parents up here and they want to talk to you. That's what I said. But as I was walking back there, his minion was already right there telling him like, oh, her parents are here, her parents are here. His minion was already right there. And I remember him, he looked at the camera, like the cameras are in the office. He looked at the camera to see, like, yeah, they're really up here, like, don't play with me. So when he came up there, my mom is the type of person, she always try to give people benefit of the doubt. Mama is very professional, very sweet. She know how to take it there, but she's always going to try to give you the benefit of the doubt and understand what the issue is before she just snaps. So my stepdad, he's the snapper. He don't want to hear none of that. Honestly, he don't want to hear none of that. If I said he was bothering me, he was bothering me. That's how he is. So he had told the manager, he was like, what's up? Like, why are you disrespecting my daughter? What did you say to her? Like, what's going on? And of course, y'all know when parents get there, now they want to act like, oh, I just didn't, I start stuttering and all that shit. I don't want to hear none of that shit. Keep that energy that you just had with me, with him. Because he a grown-ass man, just like you. Remind you, this boy, this manager is grown. So keep that energy with a grown-ass man. Because you think you can talk to kids any type of way when teenagers have parents. We have parents. You can't talk to us any type of way. So, my stepdad was basically, he was already on one. Like, he already came in there with that mentality, like, I'm gonna have to snap. So, because we had already spared them enough time. We had already gave them the whole fight situation. We gave them when the lady cussed me out. The third time is a charm, baby. Third time is a charm. Somebody's gonna have to get it the third time. And I'm sorry it was you. No, actually, I'm not sorry it was you. I'm glad it was you, because you needed it the most. So, then I had, my stepdad was basically talking to him, and my stepdad had told him to come from behind the counter. He was like, come over here so I could talk to you. He wasn't finna, like, hit him or nothing. He was like, come over here so I could talk to you. Like, come stand over here. The manager was like, sir, no, I'm not about to do that. I'm not about to do that. Remind y'all, it's a camera pointing directly down on us. It can see everything that's going on. The camera does not have audio, but the camera can see everything that is going on. I'm getting a call. Hold on one second. All right. Okay, y'all. So, where was I at? Yeah, the camera is pointing directly down onto us, so it can see everything that's going on. So, my stepdad went behind the counter, y'all. I knew I was fired then when he went behind the counter. You cannot go behind the counter unless you work there. He went behind the counter. He was in his face. Like, when I said he was like this. And my stepdad is tall. He's like 6 something. So, he was looking down on him, basically. Remind y'all, the manager is, or whatever. I have nothing against that community, but he is. So, he was, like, when he had came up there, he was like, you know how people move their hands, like, you know, he was doing all that. So my stepdad was like looking down at him. He was like, so what the fuck was said to my daughter? Y'all need to respect my daughter. Oh, ooh, let me stop cussing. Because mom is probably watching this. I'm sorry, mother, I'm sorry. No, but she was like, what the F was said to my daughter? Y'all need to respect my daughter. Like, what's going on? The manager couldn't even get a word out, y'all. My stepdad was so hot, he couldn't even get a word out. Like, he just kept backing up because my stepdad kept getting closer. Like, the manager just kept going like this. My stepdad was kind of like this. So then he was like, yeah. The manager was like, I'm just stuttering. He was like, sir, scared. And then, like, you know how, like, you flinch at somebody, like, you jump at them like that? Yeah, my stepdad, like, jumped at him. Girl, when I said the manager, like, put his fist up like he put him up so scaringly. Like, he went like this, like that, like wasn't even ready. Like, and I just laughing, but I knew you wasn't going to hit him. Like, he could have. It could have been way worse than what it was. Like, we could have all fallen there. We could have jumped you in there, but we didn't. So y'all, his minions, I seen his minions. His little minions grab their phone. I seen them grab their phone, and I kind of already had it in my head that they were trying to call the police. So they grabbed their phone. I'm like, okay, whatever. So my stepdad was about to trash the story, y'all. He was about to throw all the lemonade on the floor. Like, we was all thinking about it, because I was thinking about it too. On God, I was like, I'm gonna tear it up, like, and he gonna have to clean it up. But we didn't. But my stepdad was all on him, and like when me and my mom and another employee was trying to pull him off, he like pushed all of us. He was like, "No, get off me!" Like, girl, he had his boots on, his lemon pepper steppers. Like, it ain't even no joke. Like, he had on his lemon pepper steppers. Like, he was about to stop a nigga. So I was like, y'all should have seen my face. Like, I really wanted to laugh because it was just funny to me how your whole personality changed when my parents get here. No, keep that energy. So after that, after that, we had finally got my stepdad like up off him or whatever. And when he got up off him, we had like got from behind the counter. We walked back over there and like got back where the customers are supposed to stand or whatever. And my mom had kind of got in between. Okay, so my mom, the manager Jacob, and my stepdad. My stepdad was right here. Manager Jacob and mom was in the middle, like right here in between them. So Jacob was trying to explain his story to my mom. He was like, Journey, she sat down, like, well, she could have been restocking. You restock. You restock. My job is to take these orders. You restock. That's how I was feeling. You do something. Because you sit down in the office, so you do something. So he was like, yeah, and she's disrespectful. That's not the first time I'd have heard that. But I'm disrespectful if you disrespect me. Like I said, respect go both ways. So I did not feel as if I was being disrespectful that day. I probably have been disrespectful in the past to him if he's disrespected me. He's talked about me, disrespected me, so of course I'm gonna disrespect you too. I'm gonna talk about everything. I could have talked about so much stuff, but I didn't. And that's why you got what you got. So then after that, y'all, mom is in there singing. The look on his face was priceless. Like, I just feel like it was worth being fired. Like, if y'all would have seen that fear in his eyes, it was worth being fired. Like, I will take that. I would take that because it was worth it. It was worth it. Like, if I wouldn't know we was gonna get fired then, though, if I wouldn't know I was gonna get fired then, we probably would have jumped you. So then after that, I had but that wasn't our plans, was to jump him. Like, really, it was to shake him up a little bit, and we did that. So after that, yeah, as mom was standing between him, he was talking to mom and explaining the situation. My stepdad was kind of pacing back and forth because he was really upset. Me and my stepdad really wasn't hearing none of that. Like I said, mom is always trying to get somebody the benefit of the doubt, so she was trying to hear his side of the story. But mama did say she felt like that he was retaliating against me because he was upset that his friend was getting fired. And even when he had remember y'all, he kept saying, oh, it's nothing personal. It was something personal. It was definitely something personal. And he told mama, he was like, oh, it's nothing personal. Yes, it was. So I'm like, y'all, I had my arm like this. I was like this, listening the whole time when he talking to mom with this smirk on my face, because I just know it's BS. So then he started apologizing to me. I'm sorry for talking about you. He told mom, he was like, we have never had a problem up until now. Like, we even went and got Waffle House together. Do you think I want to hear that? Do you think she want to hear that? Because we don't want to hear that. So he was like, it was nothing personal towards her, and he was like, I'm sorry. He said I know I should have been more professional. I shouldn't have told her to get out my store. That was wrong on my part. And then he was like, I even told my friend that she was wrong for saying that to Journey. No, you didn't, because even Ashley, the other manager, told me that you was taking her side. And Ashley sat there and watched the whole situation. Jacob, you didn't even see nothing that happened. You didn't even see it because you wasn't even right there. You just heard it. You heard the aftermath of it. So, and then not even to mention, when that had happened, he had took her and her son in the office and talked to them. Didn't call me in there to talk to me. Didn't make her apologize to me. None of that. Which I wasn't looking for no apology. But I ain't really care. So, yeah, she had, basically, yeah. So then he was just giving our mama that bullshit talk, basically. It was, I didn't even care. Just giving her all that talk. I'm like, okay, whatever, cool. So after that, the police walk in. So the police walk in. They walked in deep too, like, y'all, like, okay, like, I had already knew who had called the police. Plus, even after one of the other employees had told me who had called the police, but I watched them pick up their phones. I had seen them calling the police. So, yeah, the police walk in. They basically was like, hey, what's going on? And mom was like, we come here to pick up our daughter, like, and see what's going on, because she said that this manager was doing this, da da da. So mama had told them, like, my daughter was assaulted verbally and physically up here, and the police said, and why wasn't the police called then? Exactly. Why wasn't the police called then? Now y'all want to call the police. Now y'all want to act scary and call the police, but y'all don't call the police about nothing else. So I was like, okay, yeah, right. So the police didn't have a problem with us. Martha did not put his hands on him, so I don't know why the police was called. I guess they were scared. You know, they always try to make black people seem aggressive. So, you know. So, then I had, after that, we had, like, left. We had, like, walked out. He was apologizing. We had walked out. After we had walked out, it was a lot of police cars. Like, it was already time for my shift to be over with anyway. So I wasn't really tripping. I left and I went home. I was off the next 2 days. So I had kind of already figured I was fired. I really could have felt like they could have called me and told me that over the phone. I don't feel like you should have to call somebody in and tell them that they're fired. Girl, so I went back on New Year's, which is the day I got fired. I went back on New Year's because the general manager wanted to talk about it. We sat there and talked for like 2 minutes. She was like, unfortunately, we're gonna have to terminate you because of the situation that happened. She did not ask me what happened. Remind y'all, Jacob was asking people that was, okay, like the people that was there, like the other employees that was there that night, he was asking them to write statements on what happened so he can get as many statements as he can. He was trying to build his case. As I was off of work, he was trying to build his case and get the general manager on his side to get me fired. That was his intention, was to get me fired, because he said I had got 2 of his friends fired. Girl, he told us he don't bathe for like 4 days. Said he worked too much to bathe. You work too much to take a 5-minute shower? I wouldn't even tell nobody that. If I didn't bathe, I wouldn't even tell nobody that. Don't brush his teeth, all that. So, but that's your friend. So I was like, okay, cool. So then yeah, he had like built his case while I was off work. So she was like, yeah, we're gonna have to terminate you. And she was like handing me a paper, and like when she had like opened the paper, because it was folded up, when she had opened the paper, it was the write-up that he had wrote on me, because it was wrote in purple pen. It was write-up he had wrote on me. And then I was like, okay, like, she was like, yeah, can you just sign this? And mom was like, what is she signing? Because mom was right there too. Mom was like, what is she signing? And she was just like, it's just a saying that she doesn't work anymore. And mom was like, no, she don't need to sign that. Like, if y'all fire her, y'all fire her. She don't have to sign it since she don't work anymore. You just wasted all my gas making us come up here for you to say that I was fired. You could have called me that. You could have called me and told me that. Like, so she didn't ask me my side. So I already knew she was on his side, which that's fine. Jobs come and go. I don't recommend fast food. It's very ghetto anyway, especially Wendy's. So yeah, after that, yeah, I was fired over, and today I talked to the manager, and she was telling me that I can't even say that. I'm not even gonna say that. But yeah, I talked to Ashley today and stuff or whatever, and it was cool. Like, I mean, jobs come and go. I just wanted to do this story time because I feel like it was funny to me. Honestly, you had to be there to see it. Like, it was definitely funny. That look on his face was funny. But yeah, with that being said, that completes this story time of this horrible job that I work at. Yeah, so, or that I worked at. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and end this video off because this was a long story time, and I know y'all tired of hearing me talk. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, because of course I'm going to have more coming. So like, comment, and subscribe. Stay tuned for more. And yeah, we just hit 800 subscribers today, so thank you guys so much. Mwah. I am grateful. So yeah, we are out. Bye guys.